know that, as Jeffrey was saying earlier, he was talking about how I talk a little bit more than I normally did before. And it's because we got together and, you know, we're men, we don't talk, but we talked about that, how we start saying, we start opening up a little more as we got to know that, you know, I ain't by myself. You know, everybody got some stuff. And then we start sharing from our perspectives too, you know, because those are the questions that came about, especially with the communication pieces and stuff like that. And so the goal is to take collaboration station to a different level to be able to say, hey, this is what we're trying to do in Trumbull County. We're trying to pull men together and say, hey, look, we need to help each other and we also need work down here. And so to do what we're doing, we need more funding, and Cheryl needs to get more donations, and we need to work together at it. So she's going to try to move to putting us on a piece and invite some more people to the table as a part of the board and say, hey, how can you help us job-wise and as a unit, you know what I mean? So hopefully that can work. What do you think about that?
I think that's good. I think it's good. I already told her, I was like, I don't ever want to leave the program. Let me be a lifelong member. For real, if I can come back and even like try to help, like even in my situation, even though I need help, I can still help somebody who need help too. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather be here doing this and doing anything.
Yeah, and I think the big part of it all is when men learn that you can talk about some things, and you can feel good and let it go, and you ain't nobody judging you. Right. You know what I mean? You know, you speak your piece, you know what I mean, and then we talk again, and we throw some more information on the table, and it rolls. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody got to be right. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when you in conversation, it always seems like somebody got to be right. You know what I mean? So there we go. So that's why I don't come talk to you anyway, because you got to be right. Where when you can throw your stuff out there and then everything good, or you got a little something going on at home with one of the significant others, or you trying to deal with your children with your girlfriend, and you can't talk to them, and then you come lay it out. At least you can lay your side out, and even though everybody might not agree with you, you got it off you. I think that's really big, and I think that's one of the things that I really always liked about the Fatherhood is that when I would come in here, not just to do the classes, is that you guys was always ready to like throw it out there, you know, even before we got started, and then we could get into it, because that was the issue. Those was the key issues, is what was you laying on the table. It's what you're dealing with every day.
It's nobody listening to your problem, and finally somebody's here to give you a solution to your problem. That's what it was.
Those sounding board pieces is huge too, you know, because now you spit it out and you're like, hey, or you hear 3 or 4 other guys share something, you're like, I didn't look at it like that.
Right.
You know,
it's good to get answers when you don't know. You know, there's a lot of people that don't know, that ain't never had a figure in their life to show them or to put them in the direction to know.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of good. That's the best part of this program, because it gives you the answers that you're seeking for in your head that you're scared to come out and ask. You know?
Even the tough ones, you know what I mean? Things you don't want to do.
You get thug all day, say, I don't know nothing. We done had thugs run down here. We done had the thugs run down here. You said, I want to kill her. How you want to kill everybody inside?
But, you know, whenever you see, that's how you know that the conversation is good, because when guys can get emotional with each other, and it's okay. You know, because you don't want nobody to leave here to hurt nobody, but it's true what you're saying. It says, how often have you seen men get together and just be downright emotional, and with a group of guys, unless you bond?
I think this is a big stress reliever for some people who have stress, though.
That's
because
the way it is.
There's a lot of bottled stress that you don't see, and when a person comes in here, that's the reliever. That's the stress reliever. That's the go home and apologize, because you might come here for real. You might come here with an attitude out of this world, but nobody know it. But then you get the right solution to take to that problem, then you go home and it's a whole other person. You know, so.
Especially like you said, you done wind down. You know, because you was up here. And when you left here, you went in and said, okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? If we just talk, or just let me chill for a minute, and then we can come back to that. You know what I mean? You're absolutely right. I think that's the whole goal behind it, not just to be able to like find work and everything, but to be able to help us cope with our relationships and deal with the people that we have to deal with, especially with the children involved. I think that's the biggest part of it all. And then we all learn something too. And you gain another friend, you know what I mean? Somebody else that you can talk to, or when you see them too. So that's really big too.
Because that's a good it's more of like a good communication process because you got different numbers of different people who can deal with different situations.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of good too, and that helps a lot of people out too. Because a lot of people without these numbers and people, it would be a lot of people, stressed out, like for real. And like a lot of people that don't know about this program, that they need to get involved. I be trying to, but you know, it's hard to get to a thug that don't want it.
Right, somebody ain't trying to really listen to you.
Somebody that don't want it, it's hard to, when you say something, oh, I don't go in that program, it ain't gonna help me. But sooner or later down the line, it might help.
That's right.
You know, if you see somebody else doing good, you'll pay attention to that. You might say, oh, I ain't messing with it. Then you might peek across the room like, is that, why he look like that? Why he so happy?
Right.
Let me find out what he happy for. So that'll bring more people to it. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's just people that need to see more people, need to get a visual of it, and it'll be